Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here, my name is Gidget. I make videos about sustainability and I do a lot of thrift hauls, stuff like that. So this video is about menstrual cups. Out of all the low-waist swaps that I've made in my life, people ask me the most about the menstrual cup. People have questions like, how do I choose one? Why do you use one? What is it? Etc. So I'm going to make a video about all of that. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, but I will have a long list of resources in the description for you to check out. So hopefully this is helpful. Let's talk about what a menstrual cup is and what it does. A menstrual cup is a small silicone object that you insert into your vagina that collects blood, and it kind of works like a tampon, but is not quite the same, and I'm going to tell you why. This is what a menstrual cup looks like. Now, they come in all different shapes, colors, sizes. Most of them have stems. This one does not have a stem. It has ribbing here for me to grab to pull it out and empty it. You have to empty it about every 8 to 12 hours, depending on how heavy your flow is. So that is way less changing than pads and tampons. So these are usually made of silicone. They do have some that are not made of silicone if you have an allergy. I haven't looked much into that, but I will leave some resources, like I said, in the description. So let's talk about why you should switch to a menstrual cup. Now, they're not for everybody, but I will tell you that I have saved so much time and so much money on switching to a menstrual cup because the average period takes about 12 tampons or 4 to 5 pads, which equals about $50 a year or $475 for 10 years. And if you didn't know, a menstrual cup can last up to 10 years, and it often does if you take care of it properly. So I know that the average person uses 12 tampons per period. However, I was using probably 3 Super Plus tampons a day. If you didn't know, I have endometriosis, and that means I bleed a lot. And it means a lot of other things too, and it means something different for everybody who has it, but my endometriosis causes my periods to be very long and very heavy. So 3 tampons a day times 7 does not equal 12. So yeah, so it has saved me a lot of money. I will do the math and put the number on the screen since I've switched to a menstrual cup. The average menstrual cup costs about $15 to $30, maybe $40 if you get maybe a Diva cup or a higher end brand. There are all kinds of different brands. You can find an affordable version in your size, most likely. Tampons and pads have something inside of them called dioxins. I will leave a resource in the description that talks more about what dioxins are, but they also have chlorine and rayon inside of them. If you didn't know, your vagina is the most absorbent place on your body, and that means you are absorbing those dioxins, chlorine, and rayon, and those are known to cause cancer in humans. And when they go to the landfill, if you didn't know, tampons and pads are not biodegradable. It takes a very long time for them to break down, and the chemicals inside of them are being absorbed by the earth, and that is definitely not good. Also, just a little bonus fact, when I was learning about menstrual cups, I heard somebody say, you know how when you pull out your tampon and it's kind of dry? Well, you're causing little slivers of cuts inside of you, and those chemicals are going directly into those cuts, and that just grosses me out so bad, and I think about it all the time. So I don't want to ever put a tampon inside of my body ever again, and even if I had to, I don't think I would. I'd have to figure out something else. So another question that I get asked is, who can use a menstrual cup? Is there a limit for ages? What kind of body type can you use a menstrual cup with? I just wanted to mention, it doesn't matter if you are a virgin or not, you can still use a menstrual cup. I've had people say, oh, well, your vagina must be so big if you can fit that in there, but the thing is, this thing is like squishy little baby, you know? You fold it to put it in, by the way. You don't just shove it up in there. you fold it, and it's like a little, of course my vagina's that big. You know, everybody, I know that they come in all different sizes, but these cups also come in all different sizes. You can fold it down really small, and it opens up once it's inside of you, like that. So you don't have to be sexually active to use a menstrual cup, and you don't have to be a certain age to use a menstrual cup either. I started using my menstrual cup when I was, I believe, 16 or 15, something like that. So that means I've had it for 5 years. So anybody can use a menstrual cup. You don't have to be a certain age or a certain size. There's a menstrual cup out there for everybody. So let's talk a little bit about sizing. Now, I'll leave some more resources in the description about sizing. I'm not a super duper expert, but I'll tell you what I know about sizing a menstrual cup. So let's talk a little bit about sizing. Now, I'll leave some more resources for sizing and choosing a cup in the description. I think I have said that before, but let's talk about what I know and what I learned when I was choosing a menstrual cup. So first we need to talk about your cervical height. Now, to find your cervical height, you have to be, well, you don't have to be on your period, but it's preferable that you're on your period because your cervix moves up and down when you are on your period, and that is when you'll be wearing the menstrual cup. So to find your cervix height, you will be relaxed and insert your finger, clean finger, please wash your hands, into your vagina. And I just do the index finger, it doesn't really matter. You insert your finger into your vagina, and when you hit the cervix, which you will feel, it is a soft, spongy stopping point, I like to call it, in your vagina. So when you hit your cervix, if you only make it to the first knuckle, then you have a low cervix. If you make it to the second knuckle, you have a medium cervix. And if you make it to this knuckle, or you cannot feel your cervix, you have a high cervix. So, menstrual cups come typically in 2 sizes. So normally they will have these small and then the large, but some brands are thinking that is not a good way to word that, you know, so people don't think, oh, well, I have a large vagina. But they're starting to word it as size 1 and size 2. So you'll know, depending on the cup, which size is which. They'll explain it to you in the description. And we also would need to take into account your flow. So if you have a light flow, you might need a smaller cup. Or if you have a heavy flow, you might need a larger cup. Now, the sizing on the cups, it is different for each cup brand. So say I got a Cervical cup. The size small Cervical cup is slightly larger than the small Meluna cup. So those are the 2 cups that I have, and I know that each cup has a certain capacity for blood in it, and you would have to just look at each brand and decide which capacity is best for you. So you would also need to take into account your sensitivity level. They make cups soft, medium, firm, extra firm, and some brands don't specify whether their cups are super soft, super firm. They don't. So you'll need to do research on your cup to see what people say it feels like. And there are videos on YouTube, comparison videos and review videos of every menstrual cup pretty much. I will put some good resources for that in the description. If you are caught in between 2 menstrual cups, there are a lot of squish test videos where they will take a menstrual cup here and a menstrual cup here and squish them together so that you can see which one is softer and which one is more firm. Now, for people with pretty severe cramping or sensitive bladder, it is better to choose a little bit of a softer cup. And now they have cups that are medium firmness that a lot of people seem to fare pretty well with. Like I said, you'll probably have to do some research and figure out which one is the desired firmness for you. There's a website online called Put a Cup in It, and they have a comparison chart for a ton of different menstrual cups where they will compare the firmness in a number, you know, like on a number scale, and you can choose which one you think is the right one for you. Now, Also to take into account with the firmness situation. I noticed that people who have stronger pelvic floor muscles might need a little bit more of a firm cup. And I noticed people who are very sensitive cannot use a firm cup. Say if I went to go use a Diva cup, having the period issues that I have, I could not. The Diva cup is very firm. I have felt it in person. It is quite firm compared to the cup that I use. So, okay, so that is just the basics of menstrual cups. And these are the questions that I have been asked about them. If you have any more questions, I'd be more than happy to try to answer them for you or send you in the right direction for your own research. I highly recommend that you take a quiz that I will link in the description. It is by the website I talked about earlier called Put a Cup in It. They will ask you about your flow, your size needs, and all of that information that we talked about, and they will give you a list of cups that might work for you, and I found it pretty helpful. Okay, I forgot to mention this in the video, but it's very important. If you didn't know, I am transgender and I identify as non-binary male. The menstrual cup makes it so that I don't have to think about my period for like 12 hours a day. So that's awesome. You know, to be a transgender person who is identifying as male, getting your period can be psychologically painful and physically, as you may know. So to not have to think about it, as in see blood, deal with blood, but every 8 to 12 hours is amazing. Like, super good for my mental health. Just saying. Okay. So I hope this video helps somebody. For more videos on sustainable living and stuff like this, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you liked it, and comment whatever you want to comment. Thank you for watching. Congratulations if you made it to the end. I'm going to go. Okay, bye.